Crafty fam, it's Alex Vanover. Welcome back to my craft room. And in this video, I'm actually going to be reviewing the Creative Cuptisserie single cup turner from Amazon. It's not sponsored or anything like that, but one of the most frequently asked questions that I get from new folks who are getting ready to try cups is what cup turner should I buy? And the cup turner that I've been using for the past couple of years is from an Etsy shop that no longer makes them anymore. So I decided to try a couple of cup turners from Amazon, and I picked out my very favorite, which is this one, and I'm going to tell you the good and the bad about it because they all have pros and cons. So let's get started. So I've used this turner so far on 3 different tumblers. So I'm going to begin this review by giving you a list of pros and then a list of cons, and then we'll finish the review by giving you my final thoughts and just some final things that I've learned about this cup turner so far. So the first thing I like about it is the weight. It has a steel frame, so it's really heavily constructed, and I think that it is a really high quality feeling turner. Another thing I love about it is that on the back there is a silicone covered switch. So that means if there is epoxy on your hands when you go to turn your turner off and on, you're not going to ruin your switch. You can also turn your switch off and then back on, and it will turn in the opposite direction, which is really cool too. So I do think the cord's a little short, which I do not love about this turner, but in general, I think it's really highly constructed, including the plug. I really like that it has a third prong because that just means that the plug is grounded. So if you're going to be leaving it plugged in your craft room all the time, you can rest assured that this is a little bit safer because of that third prong plug. Next, I love the height clearance of this turner. That means that if you're going to be using tumblers with handles, you're never going to have to worry about whether or not they're going to clear underneath the wand. I also love that you can put things like aluminum pans underneath this cup turner while the cups are turning, and you're not going to have to worry about messing up your cup in the meantime. I also love that the base has pre-drilled holes. So if you did want to anchor your turner to a base, you are welcome to do that, and it would be super easy. And if you're going to be using it long term, I think that is a good idea. The wand also comes off and back on very easily, which is great because that means that you're able to glitter on it or spray paint on it and easily put it off and on your turner. However, because of that unique shape of the wand, you do have to buy spare wands from this company if you want extras. So I don't necessarily love that part about it, but you can buy 4 wands for $14.99 from their Amazon store. I'll link that in the description for you as well. So it's not a terrible price, but you can't make your own with PVC, which does kind of stink. So I don't love the foam shape of the end of this either. I typically prefer either skinnier pool noodles or dollar store footballs. You can see the gold ring of where my cups usually sit on this turner, and I do think it's a bit big, but that's really super easy to change out yourself if you prefer something else. And lastly, the biggest con that I experienced was a very loud, very high-pitched squeal after my first use of this turner, but I was able to fix it and haven't had any issues since. So in order to fix it, I pulled out the wand and I applied 3-in-1 lubricant oil to this metal piece. Then once I put the wand back on, I haven't had any other issues. So props to my husband for coming up with that fix, but ever since I have not had a single squeal since then. So overall, I'm really, really pleased with this turner. Like I said, I've used it on 3 different tumblers and had a great experience every single time. And this is not a sponsored review either. I simply chose this turner based on the ranking on Amazon because it's one of the most highly ranked when you search for cup turners and the positive reviews, and it ended up being my favorite. So this is definitely an unbiased opinion. And like I said, it being one of the most highly recommended on Amazon tells me that a lot of other people really like this cup turner too, which I think is a really, really good thing. It's very, very easily to assemble. There's almost nothing to do when you get the box. So that's a really nice feature as well. It's also guaranteed to not overheat even after your cup has been turning for hours and hours. So that's another great safety feature that I think is really, really great to have on a cup turner, just because it makes me have a little bit of peace of mind while my turner is turning for hours and hours. So just as a quick review, let's talk about my favorite and least favorite things about this turner. The things I loved were the weight and the steel construction because it should handle any average tumbler that you want to make. I love the silicone cover switch and the fact that it turns in both directions depending on your preference. All you have to do is flip the switch off and back on, and it will turn in the opposite direction.
It does have a bit of a short cord, but the good construction and the grounded third prong of the plug make up for the short cord, in my opinion. I also love the height and the clearance of the wand, so that you can use tumblers with a handle or put anything underneath your turner to protect your surface without any worries of messing up your cup. And lastly, I really love the holes in the base to allow you to attach it or anchor it to a surface if you're going to be using it in the same spot all the time. The wand is also really easy to pull off and on, so that if you want to spray paint or glitter off your turner, you can really easily do that. Just make sure that it's pushed all the way onto the turner before you start your tumblers so that you don't have any fall off. I did read a couple of reviews of folks saying that their tumblers fall off, but typically that's because they probably weren't pushed up enough on the wand and on the foam. That's just my personal opinion, so just something to watch out for. The things that I did not love about this turner is that you do have to buy spare wands from the company instead of making your own out of PVC. I don't love the foam attachment that comes on this turner, but like I said, that's really easy to fix. And lastly, I did experience a very loud squeal on mine that I absolutely could not handle, but I fixed it with the 3-in-1 oil as a lubricant, and after that I had no other problems. It's very quiet when it's not squeaking. And so overall, I had a great experience with this tumbler, or excuse me, with this turner, and I would highly recommend it to any beginner or hobbyist that is looking to invest in their first turner.
Well, Crafty fam, that is my honest opinion about the Creative Cup-Tisserie cup turner. So if you're new to the glitter and epoxy tumbler world, I definitely recommend this turner as something to give it a try. Currently, as of April 2020, the price is only $29.99, and that's an unbelievable value for the great construction and the great quality of this cup turner. So I will link that in the description of this video. And if you do decide to use the link in the description, it is an affiliate link, which means that I make a small commission from your purchase at no extra cost to you, and that helps me to support all the things that I have to buy and all the stuff I have to do and my time to create all the content that I do for this channel. So I would really appreciate if you'd use that link, and thank you in advance for all of your support. And you guys know that I'm all over social media and I would love to meet and have a conversation with you. So if you have any other questions that you don't want to comment, I'd be happy to message with you about any of those. So I'll put all of my social media handles on the screen so that you can reach out through any of the platforms that you're on. And if you haven't already, please make sure that you click right here to subscribe to DIY Alex for more epoxy crafts, tumblers, Cricut crafts, DIYs, and all the things. I would love to have you. And if you want to scroll down just a little bit, you can select all notifications from that bell so that you never miss when I upload a new video. I hope we can craft again soon.